Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and notifications button for all the good stuff we've got coming.
Right.
Damian, hi.
Yeah.
So
Right.
tell us a little bit about, well, I guess I'd like to know what your first experience was with the rep, the first time you heard of the Detroit Repertory Theater, what that was, how you came into the knowledge of the rep, and then how you became the only person besides Leah that I know of that is openly welcomed by Bruce behind the bar. Like what happened to make that jump? Because we've had people talk about how coveted Ice is, how they felt honored to be offered a beer, and here you are, like without question, able to just kind of be behind the bar.
Oh, I get some looks. I get some looks sometimes when I'm back there. My first time behind the bar actually was with Milfordine Luster for a black tie, pouring champagne, and so she was the first person to ever let me behind the bars in a way. Um, but I think she did. She probably. I don't remember if she was ever allowed to make any drinks or not, or if she just had to stay near the champagne. I don't think Bruce would have messed with her so much. Uh, my first experience with the Detroit rep was I'd lived in Detroit for a couple years, and I was right around this time. I was this time of year in 2012. I was dating a woman who had a show at the rep. She was directing her debut um, show at the Detroit Repertory Theater, Burying the Bones, I believe it was called. And I think I went to closing night, I'm guessing, and the place was packed, and Bruce was behind the bar, and everybody, well, there was a lot of folks are really dressed to the nines, and I remember feeling shabby and underprepared. um, but yeah, anyway, that date was Leah Smith, who's now the associate artistic director there. And she's gone on to direct many shows there. And I just, I was enchanted with the place the first time I went. Um, I started going there more and more for the plays, and also my wife is so dedicated that if I was ever going to see enough of her, I was going to have to engage with the rep myself more. And so eventually, I'm not sure how Bruce ended up letting me get behind that bar. Um, I guess it was those black ties at first when he would want to sit down, or not black tie. I'm sorry. The first would be, I guess, at the cast parties at the end of each run of a play. They'd have a little cast party, and Bruce would want to sit down and have a beer and talk about the successful run with everyone after that last show. And so I was happy to go behind the bar and take care of everyone's needs, where he could just relax and talk to everyone for once. Yeah, that was kind of that was how I started getting back there. And then little by little, I insinuated myself, if I was going to be around, I'd prefer to be working and helping out, instead of just twiddling my thumbs. But yeah, I fell in love with the place more and more to this day. I was relatively new to Detroit when I found it, and it was what I liked about it was a lot of the things I loved about the city in general. You know, the resilience, the loyalty, the lack of pretension, um, that drive of, you know, staying there in the neighborhood and not kowtowing to trends in neighborhoods or anything else, but just sticking with their singular belief and sticking it out right there. It was inspiring, and I still love and am honored to be a part of it to this day. Somewhere we ended up getting married there. You know, I figured since the joke was I might as well get married at the Rep too, since that's where I could see her the most anyway. We might as well. I'm pretty much marrying the theater when I married Leah, and that was such a beautiful day. Again, all of these characters from the Rep that some I knew, some I didn't, and that day kind of inspired the summer festival we've been doing the last few years. Just we had such a great time, and we saw this in the neighborhood, walking around, checking out the music from afar, and you know, it didn't feel like right or fair that you know, I wish we could have let them all in, and well, we kind of ended up doing that in the next few years with the festival. Yeah, so I was married at the Rep in 2015.
Yay.
To this beautiful woman below me here. Yeah, Milfordine, I think, was the first. Well, shortly thereafter, I worked. I guess it was a black tie with Milfordine, helping her pour champagne, and I just remember laughing so hard the whole time I was back there with her. She just cracking jokes and teasing Bruce, and she was kind of one of my first friends I made out at the theater outside of Leah. She was just so welcoming, and after that, if any time I went to an event, I would just kind of beeline right towards her. She was just always made me feel so welcome.
That's exactly it. She was so welcoming and warm and authentic. There's just so authentic. There was never a question about where you stood with her. Wherever you stood with her, you knew where you were. You knew you were clear on where you were, and you knew why. Like, it was never a thing where I never knew her to be a person who was petty. I never knew her to be a person who was, vindictive. She was just so straight up and down and warm, and it was just, I miss her. I think after this, Leah, after we stream it, we might have to do like one big Zoom call and try to get everybody together so everybody can.
Yes.
Like, ah! Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so.
That could be the after party.
That should be.
Yes.
That should be. We should do something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and right. He's just given us another thing. Yeah, totally. And. Like, I'm looking at Leah's face. She's like,
I need to keep my mouth shut.
And I'm over here like, yeah, totally. Like, it's not going to be a ton of work, but it would totally be worth it. And that's where we could play the blooper reel.
Yes.
That would be right. That would be great.
Get out that handy dandy pen and donate to the Detroit Repertory Theater.
I agree. Yay.